Hi everyone, this is Kuming here, and coming to you live from my house. Been hearing a lot about people telling stories, talking about stories, storytelling, and hearing stories, and realize that telling stories can actually help you in your life. I just listened to Steve Jobs, one of the greatest storytellers. He was telling his story to Stanford University. I think it was in 2005 lah. Yeah, how he had three stories to tell the Stanford students. So I was inspired by that. I guess we've been hearing a lot of stories, but how do we tell stories? And do we actually hear our own stories? So I actually just did a half an hour clip before this, telling my own story to myself using StreamYard recording. So I just signed up with this Sean Cannell. Next week is Grow with Video Live. So I'm going to learn from people how they become a YouTuber. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel actually. Just realized that it's quite fun to do this. And hi everyone. Realized that actually there are people watching. Just decided to tell myself or tell people stories, because storytelling is something that you pick up along the way, and you have to practice, I guess. So last time, you don't have an audience. Now you have audience 24/7. Just hit the go live button on Facebook and talk. So I guess today I just want to talk about telling stories. I guess many times we hear stories from people. We hear advertising telling us stories. We hear people telling us stories. But have you heard your own story? Have you heard your own story? So while I was telling myself my own story, I realized some pitfalls in my life. And I think one of the greatest pitfalls that I had in my life was pride. I didn't really knew that I had pride in my life, but as I was telling myself my story, and after that I play it back and I listened to that, how I was actually top 10% in my cohort during my poly days when I was 17 to 20 years old, and I was selected by the school to represent them for a national design competition. I didn't really take it very seriously, and I just did what I felt that I could do, and I didn't get selected. I guess I was focused on having fun. That was one thing. So in a nutshell, I realized I had pride in my life. There's something that I should repent of, and I focused a lot on fun. I was also just reflecting, and I remember when I was in year 3, I did my final year project, and we did a game in my group called Paddleworks. It was an online game actually. We didn't really score like top grades for that, and we had this girl in our group. Her name was Michelle. She's one of the brightest students of that time. And I felt really bad that maybe I was one of the guys that dashed her hopes for getting top student. So I sent her a text message just now. But she was very nice lah. She said she forgot also lah. She also don't know what's happened before. But I guess telling yourself stories, your own story, you can learn a lot about yourself. And one of the important characters you should know about is yourself. So as I begin to tell myself the story, I begin to realize the mistakes I made. Well, at this point, the world's going crazy, and just thinking about what's the next step. What's the next step? So, figuring out telling stories is something good. So I want to leave with a good thought for everyone, is that you might think that you have screwed up, made a lot of mistakes, but at the end of the day, your story becomes God's story. His story, his story. Pun intended. Yeah, that was something that I heard from a missionary this week. Yeah, so I guess encourage yourself. Even your story can encourage somebody, because there's always gold in it, and there's always great things. The last thing I want to say is that I did not believe in what I did, the small things that I do. And maybe because of that, it didn't take off. But by the grace of God, I'm who I am today. And quite excited actually for next week's conference. Learning about video and how YouTube can change an economy. So those of you who are interested, you all can go and just do a Google search, Grow with Video Life by Sean Cranell. Yeah, going to have 2 days of late night next week. But quite excited, and I signed up for this StreamYard conference too. So anyway, telling a story, learning how to tell stories. I guess it's important to have a beginning, a middle, and an ending. I didn't really have a beginning and a middle and ending, just going live and talking. I think one thing about live video is to engage audience, but I wasn't really engaging audience. So let me see who's tuning in right now. Yeah, hi everyone, good evening. It's 11:31 here in Singapore. Going to sleep soon. Just testing out this new setup here too. As you can see, my background is totally black. Well, because behind me is a lot of things. So I figure out if I put a really bright light in front of me, it will only make my face look bright and everything else dark. So this is my virtual background. Very excited about the things going to come up next few weeks. Figuring out about video, bringing more things on video for the Gem Museum shop. Have you ever felt that you have something that nobody else, you felt alone? Well, I guess I'm one of the few guys that like gemstones in my whole circle of friends. So for many years I felt like it's very strange. But then I guess I kept on doing it because of my family. Right now I own a museum. Quite excited about what's going to happen with the museum. We created a virtual gallery, created a lot of crazy things. Okay lah, maybe it's not so crazy, but just having a lot of fun with this idea. Really want to create a place where people enjoy themselves when they come and visit the museum to learn, appreciate gemstones, and even appreciate themselves. Somebody said it's a philosophical place. Well, you can come and see for yourself if the Gem Museum is a philosophical place. But many people live happy. Many people leave the museum feeling happy. I think that's what matters, I guess. Really want to spread happiness and also knowledge, appreciation of gems, enjoyment of life. Sometimes you can be I think one thing that sometimes you might feel like things are not clear, but hang in there. It's gonna get clearer really soon. Just keep going at it. So to all my friends, take care. My friends in Myanmar, take care. In Sri Lanka, take care. In Afghanistan, take care. I pray that God will guide you in the paths of righteousness in peace. I pray for the peace and the prosperity of your soul. And those of you who like gemstones, I hope that it leads you to the right path. Leads you to hope that pursuing your passions will lead you to the success that you dream of. Take care and connect with you all soon.